Hey, welcome back, Spastic Simmer here. This is Don with another speed build for you. Well, if anybody watched us last week, they saw us work on the Southern Mansion. Wow, you can see it there in the background. You ought to check it out. It's on the gallery, and the shell is on the gallery if you want to play with it and try your hand at it. If you'd like to do a walkthrough, follow the instructions on the shell, and I would love to see what you've done and the types of design. Absolutely love it. So let's drop over here to the speed build, and of course, it's going to have the floor plan and pictures that I'm working on, and periodically in the speed build, you're going to see me flip back and forth to different aspects. Now, of course, this thing was absolutely huge. I mean, it was huge. So what I did was I went ahead and I got the square footage, and I converted that square footage to the phrase I have coined is sim squares, or square sims, but I started calling it sim squares because each one of the squares equals out to about 3 square foot. So each one of the full squares equals out to about 3 square foot. Now, of course, Sims won't let us put a wall and be a square. So to me, looking at it, that's 4 squares. The little 4 squares inside the big square. However, it's not. So we have to do, anytime we're doing a floor plan build straight off of a real life floor plan, and I'm building it to scale, right? Now, the fun thing in Sims, when you're building it to scale, there are some things that have to change, because in real life, we work with square foot, right? Here in the Americas anyway, we work with square footage. So when we're measuring out a house, we're doing width times the length, or width times the depth, however, whatever semantics you want to use there. But we measure one side of the house and we measure another side of the house, and we multiply those two numbers together, and that gives us the square footage. Well, in Sims, what we have to do is, when we're looking at a floor plan, we get that square footage, and then we divide that square footage by 3. And that gives us the square sims, or the sim squares that we need. Now, let's say, for example, this was like a 9,000 square foot, okay? I don't remember exactly what it ended up to be in sim squares, but what you have to do then is you have to get, there's a bunch of math that goes with it, but if you want to get, once you get the square sims, or the sim squares, then you have to get the square root. That's it. Sorry, brain fart. But you have to get the square root of that square footage. And I have a calculator for that shit. My brain's not going to work it. This particular build, though, the link to the original floor plan is in the Shell Challenge. And I'll also put it in the description of the speed build. Now, the walkthrough for this, we've already done. It's already on YouTube. So if you want to check it out, it's right there on YouTube, where this will be the Southern Mansion Speedville. I think I named that one the Southern Mansion Walkthrough or some crap like that. Now, what irritated the hell out of me, once we start decorating, you're going to notice where bits of the roof penetrate into the room, into the rooms of the build, and they're not supposed to do that. They're not supposed to penetrate rooms. Now, my understanding is EA is aware of that. The Sims team is aware that it is a problem, and they are working to resolve the issue. However, that does range out to be a royal pain in the ass for us because we don't have enough control over the composite roofs to be able to not let them go into the rooms, especially when we build the little kickouts like you see here, the little reading rooms and what have you. My headset fell out. Gotta hate it when that happens. So, one of the things that I always try to do when I'm doing a floor plan speed build, or a floor plan build, period, sometimes some of these things can take, considering I'm only able to stream a couple of hours a day. And number one, streaming for me any more than a couple of hours a day really does put a bind on my brain at this point. We're working on that, and we're trying to figure out what's causing that. Of course, at almost 60, I'm learning psychologically that I've dealt with anxieties and depression my entire life and just didn't know that's what it was. And over the last couple of years, it really has gotten bad where I have no control over it. Have good days and bad days, and the really bad days, of course, I can't stream at all. But we're working on it. Working with the psychiatrist and the psychologist, of course, to try to get me back on an even keel, so that hopefully one day I can go back to work. Though they're not real sure that I'm gonna ever be able to actually hold down a job. I'm trying. I'm pushing, because I've worked my whole life. I've never not worked. Hey, you like my floors? I love those floors. Absolutely love the way those floors came out. They're a pain in the ass to do, but I love the floors. So what I did was I mirrored the floors in the little library with the den and the entryway to the house, and just mirrored it all the way through. But yeah, if you want to pause the speed build and take a closer look at those floors, they are really, really, really cool. And of course, there's no custom content. I typically don't use Twisted Mixie's tool. If for some reason it just eludes me to no end. But I do absolutely use Twisted Mixie's Better Build By. Oh, absolutely love that. My hat's off to Twisted Mexi and his ability to do these mods. They're absolutely fantastic. Amazing. And then, of course, I realized after a few minutes that I had accidentally put bookshelves in front of the door. I thought, well, that's not going to work. But this thing is like, what, six bedrooms and 6 baths, I think. It's huge, and this is a real place. Like I say, the floor plans are on the link on my gallery, and memory serves, which it probably doesn't. I named it the Southern Mansion, but it's in my gallery. You can search the Sims Gallery. The Spastic Simmer, and make sure and put that in there, all one word, The Spastic Simmer. A lot of times people want to put spaces, and then they're like, well, why didn't we find you? Well, I don't know why Sims won't find it, why the gallery won't find it. If you put in The Spastic Simmer, it just won't find it. But I have figured out a way, as you can tell, to take like a 8 or 12 hour build. This one ended up being about 16-hour build, and turn it down into a 30 to 35 minute speed build, right? So that's better than the hour to hour and a half speed builds that was happening. Now, I do keep the unedited speed build daily converts, right? And if you want them, I usually keep them for about 5 days, just in case there's any questions. If you want them, let me know. I can zip them, and I can zip them and put them over in Google Drive and share with you if you'd like to private message me or whatever. But keep in mind, they are very large files. Very large files. This file uncompressed is 1.3 gigs. That's 1.3 gigs of file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick off the music and let you guys kind of watch for a bit. If I see anything that I think might need some explanation, I'll pop back in and let you know. But enjoy, and I'll be sitting here watching with you.
Don't think that I can search for you for too many years. And this was all that I could see, and I know it's what you wanted to be. Like the sea could never be the same as me. Don't let your whispers ring out golden in the sun. Don't let your whispers ring out golden in the sun. Don't let your whispers ring out golden in the sun. Don't let your whispers ring out golden.
You'll notice right here, I'm building the entertainment room, the TV room, the movie room. The floor plan showed for the ceiling to be open. I was able to do that. Now, of course, you really won't see the ceiling open until here in just a few minutes when I'm actually working up on the second floor. I'll go ahead and open up that ceiling so that it can be seen through from the second floor. But yeah, the floor plan did show for the ceiling in the media room to be open. So I was able to accomplish that. And some of these closets, man, this house has more closets and more dressing rooms, I think, than any other house I've ever built. And they are tight. I mean, really tight. But like I say, I tried as close as possible to follow the floor plan. So enjoy the build, and if you come up with anything else, I'll drop in and explain.
Happy birthday, my heart. Welcome to my new life. All this time you beating another guy. I'm fighting. Hope my bones and skin stop resisting. My body, innovation is for our own good. Hollow ones are seized by but the parties are keen on war. The defense mechanism is so strong. My soul is desperate, but there's no other way. Adaptation's the outcome of the sport. Is so silent, though my sorrow's violent. I must be mistaken it for a joy. Happy birthday, my eyes. Welcome to my new sight. Things you missed before are visible now. Stop resisting. Calm my body. Innovation is for our own good. Hollow arms are seized fire, but the parties are keen on war. The defense mechanism is so strong. My soul is desperate, but there's no other way. Adaptation's the outcome of this war.
millions of men see you, and then there's millions more in love with you. Millions who will pay to view. Can't wait to see. Come play with me. I wish you would. I think I'd be quite good. Ooh, so good. Parted lips, a good night kiss. My lips moisten at the very thought. Poring over literature I've bought. Mary Millington, Mary Millington, you made me fall in love with you. You made me fall in love with you. You made me fall in love with you. Her name is unknown, but she doesn't answer to that. A soul like an ocean and grin like a Cheshire cat. She squeaks when she speaks in a voice that is made out of jam. And all Occam's razor would say is there's another the end. I don't know why, I don't know the spell I'm under is only a veil. Beneath it, the sweetness has faded away. I don't know the spell I'm under is only a veil. There's naught wrong with speaking, we're friendly, I'm barely aware. There is no commotion, an ocean away from affair. But between the lines there might be something more that was said. And I'd be a liar if I hoped it was all in my head.
I thought I'd, sorry, excuse me, I thought I'd pop back in here. The family room there that showed up in the floor plan I thought was rather odd. And the floor plan itself also showed for a formal dining room. Or, well, excuse me, the pictures of the inside of the house showed for a formal dining room. However, the floor plan had no mention of a formal dining room. The only thing it had as far as a dining room in the floor plan, which I thought was really strange, was the little breakfast nook there. And, you know, of course, we got the laundry room there. And, of course, I absolutely love the 4-car garage. I just thought that was cool as hell. But, yeah, I thought it was interesting that a place of this size, a very large 9,000 square foot mansion, would not have a formal dining room. Now, the pictures showed they were there, but no. And you'll notice here where I built a little kitchenette that the floor plan showed a kitchenette for the pool, but I decided, you know, go ahead and open it up to the outside, so that if the yard crews or something like that wanted to come up and, you know, have a meal or something, they could, and, you know, they would be able to get, you know, what they want there in an outside seating area where they'd be able to just kick back. Now, of course, anybody can use it, but, you know, this type of place, if they can afford a house this big, normally there's also a yard crew. So yeah, I just wanted to pop in and talk a little bit about that family room and that dining room. I kind of thought that was weird. Enjoy the rest of the build. It's almost done. to say this, the formal library up here on the third story, I want to give kudos to one of my YouTube watchers, and for the life of me, I cannot remember how to pronounce their name, but if you're watching the speed bill, you'll know who you are. I definitely appreciate the idea for the formal library up on the third floor. I was trying to figure out what I was going to put up here, and a formal library just made perfect sense. So yeah, thanks for that.
It's the gestures that you make. It's your accidental timing. It's the pictures that we take. It's your love that I can see. It's the mother that you make.
All right. So we're kind of on the downswing now. We're working on the swimming pool, and the floor plan didn't show a swimming pool. Of course, we couldn't see the backyard. The floor plan, I could see the front yard, could see the front of the building just fine. And I looked all over the place for anything that might show me a picture of what the back looked like. So the back of the house, we just had to wing it, so to speak. And I just couldn't see any sense in this kind of house not having a backyard. Now, I used the terrain tool. I was going to try to make a couple of hills in the back, just uneven the terrain a little bit, but as we all know, the terrain tool in Sims really does suck. So I just smoothed it out, and here in a minute I'll be putting trees up. But I really quite like the way the pool came out. It's nice. It doesn't, sometimes pools on these types of builds, they seem like either way too big or way too little. So trying to build it, so that it looks like it belongs, was kind of important. And of course, enjoying the different types of trees. Typically, when it comes to my builds, I like to just scatter trees all throughout, and then put some flowers and what have you around the front. And I like the weird flowers. You'll notice a couple of alien flowers and what have you. I really think those are nice. But I really feel like it came out nice. I feel like, the overall build of it was nice. And for what it's worth, the build has been sim tested. When I do these builds and I upload them to the gallery and what have you, I try to test every aspect of the build with the sim on that lot. Every one of my lots has at least one sim on it, so that when I do a build like this, it can be tested. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the Southern Mansion build and speed build. And like I say, the walkthrough is on my YouTube, right? The walkthrough is right next to this video on my YouTube. And I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time. I've already got this next week's planned. So be there on twitch.tv/TheSpasticSimmer at 3 p.m. Central Time for the live broadcast. Other than that, catch us here on YouTube. Click a like, click subscribe. Give us your opinions, good, bad, or indifferent. Just respectful. We look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.